Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. It is Thursday, November the 6th, 2025. I wanted to come here and make another video, and this time in English. I'm going to speak in English, that's what I meant. The reason being is that I saw a viral video that something that happened yesterday, I believe, and it happened at a McDonald's cafe restaurant, McDonald's restaurant. Somebody went in to buy a coffee, I guess, in the morning, right? And this person got so upset, something about, I don't even know what was the customer upset about. She got so upset that after arguing with the manager for a couple minutes there, she ended up taking the coffee and throwing the coffee at the manager. Like, wow, hot coffee, throwing it to somebody, such an assault, and I think it's a criminal assault, right? Um, and I couldn't, it's just so hard to believe the way that people are these days, right? Maybe a year ago, there was another incident that happened, this time at Texas Row House, where this woman was again arguing with the hostess at the front of the restaurant, Texas Row House, I believe, and she took her soup and dumped it on this young girl's head. And I'm like, what is wrong with people? Like, people make the biggest deal out of little things, and it's just so sad. I think customer service, even though I work in retail for so many years, and I do believe in customer service, sometimes um, you need to understand that people are living very stressful life, and if they have anger problem and they find an easy way to get it out of themselves by being mean to somebody who's serving them, right? That tells you about their personality too, like who does that, right? Somebody who really has a very bad life at home. um it's just, we have to be so careful, guys, and it happens so often, right? And like everything in life, everything is being recorded, right? So it's just to hear the manager screaming after this customer throw her hot coffee at her. It was just so sad, right? Because guess what? A lot of these people that we see working at restaurants, they also have a life. They also have problems. They also perhaps working out tired to go into work to make a living, and then they have to deal with something like this, right? How can you not feel compassion for that? So it's just crazy. And before I continue to tell you more information about that video, I want to say thank you to everybody who has been following me on Spotify. Don't forget to continue to do so because it helps me as a creator to follow the podcast on Spotify. And also, thank you so much to everybody who's watching this video right now on YouTube and right here on Spotify. Now I have to look down at the computer. But I say thank you so much to everybody. On YouTube, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, right? So I think, as things get, you know, a little difficult, things are very expensive these days. People, though, like I said, um, when it comes to like Google reviews and things like this, right? Um, they feel so empowered. Like if somebody treats them wrong, they're like, I'm gonna go and put a bad review, right? But sometimes that's taken out of consideration because there's no like mercy or understanding. It's like she was rude, I'm gonna put a bad review, right? And we as believers, as Christians, we need to be so careful about that. And I'm speaking to myself too because there was a period of time where I thought, you know what, I'm gonna let them be rude and I'm gonna take it out on the Google review that I'm about to put for them. And then that never felt right with me because it's just not right. Like when you have the conviction of the Holy Spirit, you live life differently. Like that's the whole point, right? And we need to be so careful. And what I see lately, when you go to restaurants and you see people, there is such a demand. Like people think because they're spending a couple of dollars, they feel like they have this demand to be kind of like extra, I guess you can say, when they're asking for service at a very minimal thing, right? Meaning like if you're spending $500 a table at a New York City restaurant I can understand maybe perhaps you're demanding, a little more like service, but when you're ordering like a, a rice and beans bowl from Chipotle, like you shouldn't take, like, you see 10 people waiting on the line at Chipotle and you don't care about nobody else. You're like, I want to taste the chicken. Can you let me taste the steak? And I want to taste this type of other meat before I decide what to order. And then there's like 10 people in line and you just doing your thing. Like, you could care less if people are waiting on you, nothing like that. Like, I don't know how that works for some people. Like, there are people who just feel kind of like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do this right now because I don't want to hold the line. Everybody has somewhere to be. And then there are people who just don't care. If they want to take 20 minutes testing out ingredients that are so common, because Chipotle is very straightforward. It's like Jersey Mike's, it's a very straightforward procedure. But people take it like, I'm spending $10. I want to make sure I get my money's worth. And like, I understand the whole point of customer service, but there are times that, you know, that you kind of look at that and you're like, oh my goodness, come on. Like, really? You're going to taste? And then, they tend to, people who do that, usually they'll look back at the line and make sure like nobody's giving them like a look, right? Because then they want to start some type of fight. It's almost like they do this comedy, these pranks, right, on YouTube. And they always like testing people to see who's going to go first, right? But it's just so crazy how you see that happening. Um, when you're buying like a coffee at McDonald's for 99 cents, whatever, right? Whatever the price is. Like, I don't understand how can something that is done incorrectly can take you to a level, to a point that you're gonna lose your cool, right? You're gonna offend somebody verbally in front of everybody. Who cares who's watching, right? You're gonna take your anger out of somebody who's there to serve you, instead of saying, can you just make me a new order? Or can you just fix this or something? The temperature is not right, whatever it is. You're gonna take your hot coffee and you're gonna dump it at somebody without even knowing anything about it. Like, obviously you're so angry, like your anger blinds you, right? Like, that's the same thing with envy. It blinds people, right? That's why when people do evil things, they when they come back to themselves, they're like, I did that. Like, I was that angry that it took me to that level. It's just crazy to see this happen. But like I said, everything is on video. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, I'll probably already put the video out for you to see. But it says here, a woman caught on video throwing hot coffee at Michigan's McDonald's manager has been identified. Thanks be to God for that, right? The woman was caught on video throwing hot coffee at a McDonald's manager in Michigan. Buena Vista police posted a video on social media on November 4, asking the public for help in finding the woman seen throwing the coffee. It is not clear when the altercation happened. Um, after watching the video, I actually thought this took place in Florida because it said Buena Vista, so I thought it was in Florida, in Orlando. But it happened in Michigan. It says, what led to the argument between the woman and the manager is unclear. However, the woman and the manager appear, to be discussing a transaction issue in the video. The woman was heard saying, I'm glad I'm calling corporate. The manager was also heard saying refunds will take up to 48 hours. Police updated the social media post saying, thank you for all the quick responses. We have the suspect identified. Anyone with information was asked to contact the local police. And, this argument, I'm going to see if I can play here. It doesn't play, that's strange. This argument about the coffee, it's just like I said, I mean, how much are those coffees? And I know, you want to count every penny these days, but like a coffee, like what are they going to do to you? Make it better for you? If you have a complaint about a 99-cent coffee, whatever, even if it's like $20 coffee, anything that is like food, right? And it doesn't come out the way you want, you normally will ask for them to do it again, right? If you're brave enough, right, to send something back to the kitchen, you ask them to redo it for you, right? But to take the coffee and throw it at somebody, a hot coffee, and think you're just gonna go on with life like nothing happened, that's crazy, right? It's so crazy. Like anger management, like you see it with people driving too. Um, that's like a whole nother subject. I don't know. There's no more like there's no more patience either, and that's something that I feel like as we get closer to the second coming of the Lord, we're gonna see that more often, right? Where people are just losing their cool for like no reason, right? Something as simple as you can just ask the manager to redo the coffee for you or to give you a coffee that you know that is better temperature, whatever it is the issue that it was, right? And even though, like this is here in the video, you can hear them say, you're gonna get your money back in 48 hours, even though there's a solution already in place to make the customer right. That wasn't good enough, right? That wasn't good enough. They still wanted, you know, they wanted the man, right? Don't ever treat me like, don't speak to me like this. It's just really sad that this is what the world is right now. That's why we have to be so careful, right? Um, Out there. It says here that let me see what some people are saying in the comments because I know this video went viral, so I'm trying to read some of the comments here. Somebody said, I would have chased her down and then I would likely be the one facing a warrant. Felonious assault, though, could be tweaked as a misdemeanor depending on the manager's injuries. I just don't get this kind of system. It is irrelevant what the injuries were. The intent to create as much injury as possible was an intention, definitely. It was thrown at the manager with an intention to hurt her, right? Because you're like when people are angry, like the same thing, like I tell you with jealousy, they're not registering what they're saying. They're like, this is how I feel right now, and I want you to fix it, right? And it's like, can you calm down? Like she said to you, you're gonna get your money in 48 hours. That was not good for her. It's like, I'm still very upset, and this is what I'm gonna do for you right now. So somebody say, well, is that a hate crime? Somebody said also, self control, something that was never learned. Um, no excuse for this. And somebody said, reverse the roles of these two women and the headline will be far different. Let me see what else. I'm trying to just read because people are commenting a lot of crazy stuff, right? Um, Somebody said, over a cup of coffee? That's ridiculous. Poor lady behind the counter. I hope she will be okay. I hope they find the woman who threw coffee at her. Yeah, and it looks to me like they're heading that way because she already was identified. So when I work in retail for many years, I will hear like during the back to school season, I will hear this a lot from moms that will walk in with like their teenagers to buy clothing. They love yeah. There was something with people who will see you like fixing a table, like meaning like folding t-shirts and pants and things like that. And there were people who intentionally, because you can tell it's intentionally, they will come and mess up the table right in front of you, just waiting for you to say something, right? Because they believe the customer is always right. And they will test you like that, right? Because, if you say something, they're going to ask for a supervisor, right? And then there were people that will say to me, can you give me this size? Because I don't want to mess up the table. I see that you're working on it. And that tells you like the type of the way that people were raised, just by that little comment, like, can you help me get this side? Because I don't want to mess up your work, right? And then you hear some mom saying to the kids, right, instead of teaching them better, right, they will say to them, well, you don't have to put everything back. Leave it all on the floor in the fitting room. I mean, that's what these people are here for. Like, to say something like that, like, that's crazy. Why would you go into a fitting room, right, and try on 10 dresses, let's just say, and just leave it on the floor? Not even put it back on the hanger and just walk out. And, they will say to their kids right in front of us, right, when we're working there, we'll leave it there. That's what they're here for. They have to, you give them something to do, right? That's what they will say. And it's just this attitude, like I said. Some people, they just, you know, I think everybody at some point can get like that. I think it takes you to kind of appreciate servers, to kind of come out of that mentality and work in retail, right? To kind of understand better, because people who work in retail, there's a lot that they have to do constantly, right? Um, it takes you to kind of learn a little bit how everything is working in a retail store to sometimes understand it better. And it's just, it's so crazy. Like, I see people like ordering, like I told you guys in the beginning, people who be ordering Chipotle, and they see the line, they just, or they want, that's it, another thing. This is just my opinion, obviously. That's another thing. Like, your if your kid, right, is too young to be placing an order at Chipotle, maybe you can help them, right? Because it's almost like the kid is taking quite a long time to order what he wants on his food, not even recognizing what the ingredients are. And there is the mom just like, oh, just tell the guy what you want. It's like you have 15 people online waiting, right? Like, I don't understand how that works. And it's not like I'm being impatient, nothing like that, but it's all about consideration, right? Consideration for other people. Like, you can help your child to order if they can barely see what's on the on the counter too. You can also do that just to be considerate of other people, right? And then after they do that, and they're like, oh, I actually want two other things because we're bringing this home or things like that. It's just things that you see these days. I think this is why there's like a mentality concern, like, um I'm gonna go to this place and they have to give me like top tier service. I know we all want great customer service. I do believe that customer service is so important, right? Because nobody wants to go to a place where they're not treated right. And especially if you're spending your money. But there are things that you also see that you're like, come on, it's not a 5-star restaurant, Like, come on, let's speed it up a little bit, right? But anyways, that's just something that I wanted to share. Let me know guys what you think about this viral McDonald's video about the lady throwing the coffee at the manager, and I really hope that she's okay because you can hear her screaming after that happens. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the channel. Thank you to everybody who's listening to the podcast. Have a good day. God bless. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.